The good news is, if you put someone on a pedestal, you can also take them off because you're the one that put them up there. And I think it's easy to give people so much power in our lives by putting them on a pedestal that maybe they don't even deserve. I think the most important thing you can do is realize that there are no pedestals. There are no pedestals, there are no leagues, and we're all just human. Hello, sorry I have crap on my mouth because she's been giving me kisses. She's so pretty. She's so pretty, girl. Yes, you. It's really feeling so much like fall. Let me show you this. Oh, there's Buttercup eating her lunch in the bag. Today is September 1st or 2nd? I think 2nd. But God, it's like rainy and so gloomy and so beautiful. We got Buttercup eating her lunch. Yes, you look so pretty, little lady. It's all in your hair. Look at their little name things. Hi, Goldie. Okay, the lighting in the pig's little area is not so good, so I'm gonna try to move around a little bit. But I love this little baby. He's so sweet. Okay, perfect. I'm sitting in the red velvet chair. I got my little Bentley. Oh, that's the roof of his mouth. My hand was just fully in his mouth. And then let me show you the view from here because it's also kind of crazy and beautiful. A little barn. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about today was kind of, I'm not gonna get fully into it, but kind of like how to get over someone and how to not have such an anxious attachment style. So I'll put in a description, and if you hear them just like making the sounds that they make, it's just part of it. It's just part of the territory. But I feel like I definitely used to put a lot of value in what other people thought of me, especially like romantic interests. And if someone wasn't feeling it or someone didn't like me, I would start to think that there was something wrong with myself. And the first thing I'll say is that if someone's opinion of you can make you feel so bad about yourself, I think it's a sign that there is some insecurity somewhere in you, and that when someone rejects you or someone doesn't like you or someone, for whatever reason, something doesn't work out, it affirms what you already believe to be wrong about yourself. So I think number one is you need to learn to heal those wounds that you have. A lot of it I think can come from healing your inner child, and that not being healed can definitely exacerbate feelings of not being good enough or any kind of negative belief that you formed about yourself in childhood for whatever reason. Maybe you got bullied, maybe people were mean to you, maybe you had a really chaotic home life, whatever it was. Those beliefs are so powerful when you're young that they keep affecting you later in life if you don't deal with them. And so when you let other people determine how you feel about yourself, you're in trouble. And I think one of the most important things you can do to avoid putting so much value in what others think of you is to work on yourself. And people always say, like, really abstractly, like, work on yourself, put yourself first, and it's like, what does that actually mean? And to me it means building a life that's valuable just because you're living it, not because there's someone in it. And what I mean by that is like having activities that you like, that bring joy to you, and having goals that are independent of what anyone else says, thinks, or does, and just kind of building a sense of security around who you are, regardless of anyone else's opinion. And then the other thing I'll say is you have to take people off a pedestal, because when someone's on a pedestal in your life, like you think they're better than you, you think they're better than other people, you see them as somehow elevated above others, that's a problem, because everyone is human. The good news is, if you put someone on a pedestal, you can also take them off because you're the one that put them up there. And I think it's easy to give people so much power in our lives by putting them on a pedestal that maybe they don't even deserve. Maybe someone generally doesn't treat you very well, but then on the times that they do, it makes you feel amazing because it's so rare to get that treatment from them. So you might put them on a pedestal because they have the capacity to make you feel either horrible about yourself or amazing about yourself. I think the most important thing you can do is realize there are no pedestals, there are no leagues, and we're all just human. I think it's easy to forget that, especially in romance, because it's easy to value what a romantic interest thinks of us, and we might give them more power over how we feel about ourselves than someone like a friend or an acquaintance, or someone random doesn't like you. It kind of maybe doesn't affect you as much, but when it's a romantic interest, it feels like, oh, something's fundamentally wrong with me. which is just so rarely the case. And then the third thing that I would say, so work on your inner child, take people off the pedestal. And then the third thing that I would say is, for dating, you just gotta keep putting yourself out there, because the more experience you get, the more you realize how not personal so much of rejection is. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone on dates where I'm like, that person's like perfectly attractive, I had a nice time, but I don't need to see them again. Like, I don't know, we didn't super click that much or whatever. And then you realize that, like, when you reject people, it is so rarely because you think that there's something fundamentally wrong with that person. What it really is you just didn't click. Or, yeah, they're perfectly attractive, just not my type. Or, yeah, like, I'm sure we could have some fun together, but I'm not feeling like the connection I'm looking for. Or maybe this person wants something more serious than what I'm looking for. Like, there are so many reasons why romantic things don't work out, and I think the only way you can really learn how impersonal it is to just keep trying. With each date experience, like, you can learn something about yourself. Like, okay, I didn't really like this date, so I know that in the future I want someone who is like this and not like this. Or maybe this person had some really great qualities, but we didn't agree on this thing that's really important to me, so I'm gonna keep looking. But yeah, I just think it's important to realize that things are very rarely as personal as they seem, and I think it's just life experience and time that kind of helps with that. Because when you're young and you don't have that much experience with dating, and when you grew up online, like, you're used to having access to people 24/7, and that's just not normal. So things like, if someone doesn't respond to your text for a day or for a few hours or whatever, you can like freak out, like I definitely used to before I realized that, like, it is not realistic and also not healthy to have constant communication like 24/7 with somebody. Like, never in human history have we been able to have that with whoever we want at any time. And it's just not normal. And I think the more life experience you have, whether it's experience in dating or just living life, the more you realize how impersonal most rejection and most things are, and the less value you put in what other people think of you. But it's definitely a process. So these are just 3 things that have helped me. But yeah, I hope it helps you in some way, and I hope you enjoyed this video in the in the barn and seeing all the animals, and I will see you next time.